Welcome to video number 2, Hillman Talk University students. Again, I'm your host, Yasheka Foster. And here I will describe to you exactly what you will be getting for your elective 103 with life skills with the specialization in self-actualization and resiliency. And so at this time, I'm going to show you guys the PowerPoint for this particular class so that you can get an idea of what's to be expected. So in case you decide to change your mind or you decide you want to invite a friend to go ahead and sign up, you guys will have an idea of what's to be expected. So right now I'm going to share my screen. Okay, if you guys can see my screen, I know you can. And so I'm going to go ahead and go into the mode. Let's see, let me make sure I go into the right mode. There we go. All right, right here, again, this is just a picture of me letting you guys know exactly who I am. I will be your instructor. I am Yasheka Foster. You can refer to me as Coach Yasheka or Miss Foster, but you will not call me Yasheka. You will either say Coach Yasheka or you will say Miss Foster, okay? All right, okay. Now, let me tell you a little bit about myself, okay? I am a retired Army veteran of 25 years. And everything that I've done in my life is rooted in things like this class, meaning that if you want to know a little bit about me to work with me, this is definitely a place to start because I give you literally all the things that I've been through in this class because when I say life skills, I think about what I encounter as a young girl and the things that I needed growing up in the rural streets of Detroit. Now, I remember as a kid, I had a class that was called Life Skills, right? Now, this one's called Life Lessons, but I remember I had a class that was called Life Skills. And this particular life skills class I received as when I was in like 5th grade, I think it was, right? And I remember in this class, it taught us things that I didn't even know that I was going to have to know that wasn't taught in everyday life. For example, I remember they taught us how to write out an envelope or how to properly write a checkbook or how to properly balance a checkbook. And then they also did this demonstration where the teacher whispered in one student's ear and told that person to go ahead and whisper to the person behind them, and so on and so forth, until the message from the first person had perceivably got all the way down to the last person in the classroom. And so what it demonstrated was by the time people hear something and they go to gurgitate it out, the message is normally it's fluff with other people's words, other people's views, other people's opinions. They swap out words that doesn't mean the same thing. And so it was just one of those things where it's like, okay, if this is the way it is, like what is really real and what's really not real in terms of what we do in society, right? What do we need to know and what do we not need to know? And one of the things that I know for a fact, the major things that people need to know is self-actualization. And that is being exactly who you are meant to be regardless, right? And being resilient. Because in order to be the person you are meant to be, you're going to go through some things, right? Because the world will always tell you what you can't be, right? They'll try to tell you what you can be, but it's like, depending on what box they want to keep you in. But other than that, they'll quick to tell you what you can't be. So this right here is this first sheet is my mission statement, and my mission is clear. And I'm not going to insult your intelligence by reading everything from this out loud. And so you can come back and read it yourself to get know a little bit about me. So next slide. All right, here again, this is my mission statement. I am here to empower individuals, especially those from underrepresented, overlooked, and overburdened communities to unlearn survival mode, embrace self-actualization, and build lives rooted in truth, healing, and legacy. Because that is something that I know to be true. And that's how I knew that I would be okay in the military, because the life that I live was built on me surviving, right? And when you're always trying to survive, you can't thrive, you can't strive, because in your mind, you're just trying to survive, right? And so what if you were more well-rounded? What if you were more resilient? What if you knew exactly what you are supposed to be and you keep pushing forward no matter what, right? What does that look like for you? And so that's something that we're going to do, and this is why this mission statement is so. The course objective. This course exists to reawaken purpose, realign identity, and create a sacred space where growth is gritty, grace-filled, and grounded in cultural truth. Through raw life lessons, emotional resilience, and mindset strategies, we aim to restore the power of becoming to help students not just bounce back, but break through. And this is the course objective for this course. And so here we will talk about adaptability, flexibility, and learning. And we already know at the core of that is resiliency, because you have to be resilient to be able to be adaptable, flexible, and to be open to learning new things. Vision statement: to see each student walk away equipped, evolved, and elevated, ready to live intentionally and leave a legacy that begins with becoming themselves. Okay. Now, what do I expect from you? Of course, I expect for you to just be yourself. Just be your beautiful self, the way nature or your higher powers, the powers that be, or whatever it is you believe in, what they wanted you to be. And so for this course overview, this course is designed to guide students through the art and discipline of self-actualization with a strong foundation in personal resilience. We'll dive into raw life lessons, inner healing, and how to shift from survival mode to intentional living. The course blends hood wisdom, okay, because I am from the streets of Detroit, honey. I am from the streets of Detroit. Psychology, I am very well equipped. I have a master's degree in marriage and family counseling, a bachelor's degree in psychology. I have other credentials. I'm also military resilience certified. I'm sexual assault response coordinator certified. I am master resilient. Like, there's a lot of things that I'm literally trained or certified in. And so we will talk about that throughout this course. And that's it. And so anyway, this course blends hood wisdom, psychology, and real life strategies, because a lot of what I speak from will be coming from my own experience, not someone else's experience, not what I've heard, but things that I have experienced myself, firsthand accounts, and how I know there are just certain things that adults should know. Certain things that adults should know that they don't even know they need to know it. All right. Now, how is the grading system going to be accumulated? Now, I know that most people out over an 8-week course, you are projected to meet at least 8 times, right? Now, if you look at the point scores and the way the points are broken down, you can earn up to 5 points a week. And again, that's 40 points total. But if I went ahead and said, well, the only requirement, you can do all the assignments and never show up, right? Well, that wouldn't work, okay? Because why? There is a minimum amount of times that you must participate. So 4 sessions. So if we have 8 sessions, you must attend at least 4 of those sessions live, or have made prior arrangements with me as to why you cannot make it. And that is part of your grade. Your participation points is 50% of the grade. That is the 2 points out of the 5. This is earned by actively being involved with somebody else's comment and posting a comment of your own. So for example, whatever the lesson is, you may want to give your first reactions to what you heard during that lesson. And then you will go into our group and you will post that, or you will, whatever we decide is what you will go and you will post that particular question, right? You will post that question, or you will go ahead and ask that question once we go live, right? Now, once you do that, okay, because you'll also be part of a Facebook group. Once you do that, then you'll also turn around and respond to someone else's question or comment or something. In other words, be interactive with someone else's, because there's nothing worse than you spilling out your guts or something, or you're telling you something about, whatever reaction you got from a particular assignment, and no one acknowledges it except for the professor. Why? Because you will be amazed of when you talk to other people, how well you have things in common, or how much you have in common with other people. You can get people from different walks of life, 10 different people from different walks of life. And I guarantee you there will be something that every last one of them have in common. At least there'll be one thing at least all of them have in common, even if it's just that they all like the color blue, right? Or they all like the rain, or they all like whatever, or they all like a specific kind of food, right? You'll be amazed. Okay. So that's why it's important to you to also start a conversation and then also reply to a conversation. All right. And homework will be very easy, but it will give you an opportunity to think about the assignments that are either coming up or ones that has happened. And we'll go on to later through that for the courses and throughout the course or throughout this briefing, so that you'll get an idea of what the homework is. Now for the schedule, we will meet on YouTube Live Wednesdays from 2 p.m. until Eastern Standard Time. The link to the YouTube channel video will be on TikTok. Now, with that also being said, we will also have a separate Facebook group, okay? So when you guys come and see me live, because I'll be streaming through, it'll be on YouTube, but I'll also be streaming through Zoom or live stream. And so because of that, you will get a link, but that link will either be provided through you through TikTok or from email, but you will definitely have that link and it'll be a consistent link. And so I'll try to make it consistent as much as possible. But also on the YouTube, all of the videos will be in a playlist. So if by chance you needed to go back and recollect some things or recollect some things, there will be a playlist within my up under my Facebook group, or excuse me, my YouTube group of Hood Parenting. And you will see a playlist for HTU students in life lessons in self-actualization and resiliency. All right. And then office hours would be from 10 until 4, and then also Thursday from 2 to 4. And so what the Thursdays is for, so anyone who was not able to chit chat on that Wednesday for whatever reason, that Thursday I will be available for a live Zoom or a live TikTok if someone has additional questions. And so those would be my office hours. So if there's something that you wanted to know or clarifications you need, and I have not, and you did not, were not able to get it to me on Wednesday, then Thursday is definitely the time that I'll address those things. Or once you give it to me, I'll address it either Wednesday or Thursday. Okay. Now, this is our class overview. The first week, we will talk about the mirror moment. Who are you? And this is how you define self-actualization, right? The second week is survival. Survival isn't survival isn't the goal. Breaking free from auto living is. Because why I say that when we're busy trying to survive, we're not really thriving and striving because we're just trying to survive, right? So we're not enjoying, like they said, we're not stopping long enough to smell the roses. We're not appreciating how far we've come because we're thinking about where we haven't been or the failures along the way, right? All right. And then there's week 3 will be embracing emotional intelligence, right? Now, this will be a little bit more deeper as we go into the middle of the 8 weeks. We'll go a little bit more deeper into what this means. So week 4 would be boundaries and backbone, protect your peace. And this is something that, is important. And we're going to talk about it. And the course will give you an overview and the homework, because one of the things I understand is about if you do not have boundaries and a backbone, you will be people's punching bag. You will carry all the burden of everybody, and you will be the person that tries to solve everybody's problems. And I'm here to tell you that life does not produce a healthy life, nor does it produce a calm life, nor does it produce a peaceful life, right? And so you have to definitely be able to set your boundaries and have backbone to enforce it. And so that will be in week 4. Week 5, your inner strength, resilience as a lifestyle. It needs to be part of who you are day to day. Be okay with just saying, nope, not gonna do it, or no, mm-mm. You don't even have to provide an explanation. No is a complete sentence, right? And so that's when we roll over to week 6, which is unlearning for the win, rewriting your mindset. Why? Because a lot of what we feel that we should do is because of what we've been told, because of society, because of family, because of culture, because of religion, whatever it may be, right? And so this self-actualization is really you tapping into who you, getting really clear about who it is that you are, right? What agreement did you make in the very beginning about what this life looked like for you, this one life that you get to get, okay? Week 7, vision with vibes, crafting your legacy blueprint. This will be where you will create a map for yourself and what it looks like for you to create the legacy, whatever your legacy looks like for you. It may not look like much. It may look like everything. It may look like, listen, the next coming, right? It's up to you. You get to create it and you get to write out the map to get you there. And then week 8, which is our final week, that'll be our celebration and the commitment week. And at this week, you will be able to reflect on the journey, and hopefully you will get into the point where you have solidified growth and declare your long-term commitment to self-actualization, being exactly who you are meant to be, regardless of what anybody tells you. All right. Class expectations. I expect everyone to show up fully, respect the space, speak your truth, stay open, not offended, practice radical inclusivity, participate actively, do the work, no preaching, no policing, celebrate progress, not perfection. Because why? This is where we get to say, okay, maybe I can do things this way or that way. right? So we're about making progression forward, right? That's it, progression forward. Nobody said it had to look perfect, all right? These class rules or the class expectations, I expect everyone to conduct themselves accordingly, and any violations of these rules could potentially get you disenrolled from the class. Why? Because we respect one another as adults always, all right? We may not agree on everything, but we have to get to a point where we agree to disagree and part ways, and that's it, all right? And so you can disagree with someone and be polite, okay? Enough about that. Now, if you have a need to contact me or any kind of way, this is my email address, which you will be able to contact me with. And also, this is where all of the assignments will be kept on this particular YouTube platform, which is Hood Parenting. And so, with that, let's stop my screen sharing. Listen, I look forward to these next 8 weeks with you. I know they will be amazing. I know it will be something that you will think about it. And listen, and just so you know, a lot of what we're going to be teaching from will come from my first book, which is The Realization of Irrelevance, Finding Your You After the Military. I wrote this book many years ago when I got out of the military, but what I realized is that it was literally the blueprint and the foundation for the life that I have. And so I know that it's going to help somebody else. And so I look forward to this journey, and I'm hoping that you are as excited as I am because, honey, I am now an instructor with HTU. Can you say HTU, honey? HTU, Hillman Top University. And it is such an honor. And I look forward to this journey with you all. And I'll see you guys on week 1. Bye.